Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I am Bobby Cool, Daddy Slick Breeze. I have with me Eric New York McCabe. New York. And Robert
McCall.
Hotter, juicier McCall. Whoa. He's okay. I'm sorry.
Just for everyone's context, that's what it says on my cup.
I looked over, he had a McDonald's cup.
Right. Bobby and I are only friends.
How many guesses of what's in his McDonald's cup?
Well, it's only one of two.
One guess. It's Dr. Pepper.
It's Coke today.
It is Coke today.
Yep. I switch it up sometimes.
Right. Why?
Because Dr. Pepper isn't as readily available in Emporia as it was in Austin. And so I've grown to like the taste of Coke.
So you're weaning yourself off Dr. Pepper since it's not readily available?
No, I just like both.
Full Coke.
Full Coke.
Full Coke.
Never go full Coke.
Is that
no? We're gonna no.
We're gonna walk away. Robert's gonna like have a big hissy fit or something like that. We're gonna walk away and go, God, he went full Coke.
No, I've learned to appreciate both. And McDonald's has really, really good Coke. So
I like how I said hissy fit. Why didn't I just say fit?
I'm a hissy fit.
Hissy fit.
That's me.
All right, we back to the show. If you joining us on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us on YouTube. We had a pre-show, so if you want to be involved with the pre-show,
best show
which
ever,
is better than with anybody. I don't know anybody who would want to do an after show.
No.
But the pre-show is where it's at. So make sure you join us on YouTube if you can, 1:30 p.m. Central. Just about every Tuesday we go live, and you can join the pre-show.
Except next Tuesday.
Except next Tuesday, yes. We'll get into more of that later. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Had a good week since last time? Played any disc golf?
Wonderful week.
Actually,
played a lot of disc golf.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Can you maybe elaborate?
That's about it. No, yeah. Let's see. Since we talked last Tuesday, I've probably played every day, pretty close to every day. My parents came into town on Friday. I don't think I played that day, but every other day I've played. And I've been playing Jones Gold about every day in preparation for Masters Worlds and even Pro Worlds. Just getting out there, it really it tests all aspects of your game. It does, you got to have the longer holes, a lot of putter approaches, a lot of mid-range approaches, fairways. It's just really, I think it's really helping my game, and I've been getting out and putting a lot more, so been seeing a little improvement here and there.
Put some good scores out there too.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And Robert, you said you? Oh, I'm sorry, were you done?
No, I also went fishing this weekend for the first time in a while.
Snaps.
So
and how'd that go?
So much fun. We went to Melbourne Lake.
Yeah.
Dave and I went, and Denise and his wife got kayaks, and they went kayaking as we got the little boat out and went fishing, and good. It was fun. I forgot how much fun it was to go on a boat and go fishing. And I'm on a boat. Can't say the rest of that. But it was great. Yeah, it's like a new addiction, I think. I'll be doing a lot more.
I noticed.
Have you bought a nautical themed Pashmina?
I have not
Afghan?
yet. Not yet. But I did buy a shirt.
That's close to what they talk about in I'm on a boat.
You need to get some, because I saw you had your DD.
The bucket hat?
Yeah.
Yep.
You need to get some hooks and stuff. And with your
that's
trunks.
true. Like put my lures hanging on it. So when I pull it hooks me. Oh, man.
With your swim trunks and your flippy floppies?
My flippy floppies.
You also went to Kansas City.
I did. I went to Kansas City.
A lot of traveling.
I did. Sunday morning, went up to Kansas City. Met Pete Cashin up there.
Yeah.
Played a practice round at Bad Rock Creek, one of the Masters Worlds courses. Which was a lot of fun. Great. Always a good time playing with Pete. Went up there super early, got home. Actually, we went out to lunch and got home in time to sit down and rest for about an hour, and then went out and played Jones Gold.
Nice.
So I played 2 rounds that day, which was pretty cool.
Someone wants to know the size of that walleye you caught.
It was, unfortunately, it was 14 inches long, and the limit to take home is 16 inches. So it was just a little too short to take home. It was inches from perfection, literally. So I had to throw it back.
Did you catch another fish, take part of its tail, put it on the bottom,
stretching it?
Missed opportunity.
But or leaving the lure in his mouth, because it was a couple inches.
That sounds good.
Christian, if you're watching the show and yes, is he saying something about his question getting passed up 3 times?
Yes.
Just a little bit of not a warning, information. The YouTube part is just kind of us watching us record the Disc Golf Answer Man podcast. So we're going to answer questions from the podcast. And then every now and we'll get to questions that are on the YouTube. So
just keep asking it over and over.
Over and over. So I apologize if we don't get to your questions, but our concentration is more on the questions sent into the show. So one way to guarantee that we will eventually get to your question maybe a few months down the road.
Send it in.
Is send it in.
Yeah.
So anyway, just a little FYI there.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do for you though, Christian. Do you have his question?
Nope, I didn't see it. I scrolled back up and looked for. I assumed he was talking about a question he submitted.
Oh, when your question gets passed up 3 times. So another disclaimer, Christian. Right now we're sitting at 94 questions. So it does take some time to get to people's questions. So
Here, I had to scroll way up. He asked if.
Never mind on the last part.
But that's true though.
No.
But he asked if the VIP X Warship will have a stock release.
No.
Answer: no, it will not.
No, it will not.
On to the next question.
I sold mine.
I saw that. Did pretty good.
Derek put a $237 bid just
after the
Just too late.
Yeah, just a little too late. Sorry,
almost.
Derek.
You should have
held him.
told him I had one. I'd sell him for that price.
That's going to help my little trip here in a few days. So
anyway, back to what did you do this weekend?
Yeah,
I've been playing some disc golf. I played a little bit of golf this week, but mostly just disc golf. We played Jones Gold a couple times. Went out and played some with Anthony and Joel and Danny and Alex and Alan from the retail store. And yeah, it's been a good time of getting back into playing some disc golf. Extremely enjoyable.
I didn't play any disc golf. I just relaxed.
Nice. That's good play.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Nothing wrong with that.
Anything?
I mean, honestly, like I've enjoyed playing disc golf more lately for sure, but I just realized like it's July. If I'm trying to get to 1,000 rated, I got to start playing and do tournaments and things.
So what's the next one? Ledgestone?
No,
you're going to something in Des Moines?
I'm going to go play
Des Moines.
I'm going to go play Des Moines this week. I'm excited about that. I'm going to take my car and just be on my schedule and it should be great. Excited.
Are you going to know what to do on your own schedule?
I am not. Because then we'll go to Ledgestone.
You're going to get a hotel when you get there?
I don't know about that. Maybe. We'll see. But no, and then when we go to Ledgestone, we'll take the RV and it'll be more of a work capacity type thing. I'll still play Ledgestone, but it'll be more work. This one, I'm just going to go play a tournament just like I'm a regular old tournament player.
I kind of want to go to Ledgestone, but I kind of don't.
Well,
that's right. Sean, Bobby was the barbecue master. That's right. I did do a little barbecue and I went live while I was barbecuing.
BBQ.
All right. What do you guys say we get to the disc golf questions?
Yes.
Sweet. Let me hit record on the video so we can have those for later. Boom. All right, guys. Remember, as always, you can go to discgolfanswerman.com, submit your disc golf question, and we will get it on the air. We will go through a few speak pipe questions, and then we'll go back to the form. This first one is from Conor Levi. I think that's right.
usually we don't have last names. It's special.
Well, it's in all they put for their name is their email address.
Oh, gotcha.
All right, here we go. And check volume. Go.
What's going on, guys? This is Jason calling. Longtime fan, and I hit my only ace with an EMAC Truth, so I'll always be loyal to Dynamic.
Nice.
I have sort of an uncomfortable question today.
Ooh.
I hit someone with my disc playing about a week ago, and this obviously wasn't intentional. I yelled for too late, but it's definitely my fault. And I just wasn't sure what to do in this situation. I felt really uncomfortable. The person was justifiably pissed, called me careless, etc. He was 100% correct, and I apologized. But outside of a heartfelt apology, what should I do? Should I offer them the disc that I hit them with? Should I buy them a 6-pack? I just have never been in this situation before. And I just moved to a new town, and so I don't want to sort of get a bad reputation at my new home course. And so thanks a lot for answering my question, guys. I love the show. Have a great day.
Really just approach the guy and be like, hey, I'm sorry. My name's Robert McCall. It's nice to meet you. Wait, what?
wait, hold on. What?
I mean, there really is no
I've
protocol.
heard of this other new guy, Jason. He's cool. But me, Robert McCall, this guy sucks.
The worst.
There is no protocol. You just kind of have to gauge it based on if he was pretty upset, I guess you could offer to buy him a beer or something like that.
I wonder if he hit another disc golfer.
That's what I was going to ask.
Like, if it's another disc golfer, it's a whole nother level of if it's like a pedestrian walking path
they don't
or something like
understand,
that. Yeah,
because
that's a lot worse in my opinion.
Yes, the first thing that I thought was like, if someone, if you're riding your bike and you run into somebody, Do you offer them the bike?
Yes.
Oh, you do? I never knew. But yeah, I think it's different if it's a disc golfer or not.
If it wasn't a disc golfer, I hope it wasn't an EMAC Truth that he hit him with.
And I hope you wouldn't offer him the disc. It's like the thing that injured you. Here,
Yeah,
have this.
here.
Maybe you can injure somebody.
Or hand it to them and say, free shot.
Yeah, come on.
Bring it.
Bring the heat. I guarantee you won't hit me if you're not a disc golfer.
I've given away 3 cars with that logic.
Dang, man.
Just gave them away.
You got to quit being so careless.
It's been a slow week.
No, nice. No, I do think it's good to try and make it right. If they, want a 6-pack or even a heartfelt apology is fine. Just do your best to make it right. That's about it.
Everybody know. I mean, it's an accident. I mean, we've all been hit, right? You've been hit.
Definitely.
I've been hit. Have you been hit?
Yep.
I mean, as a cameraman, I would assume.
Actually, this one time I was hit, I wasn't doing any filming. It was actually at Worlds in Kansas City, and it was Avery Jenkins, and he was doing the long distance competition.
Oh, yeah.
And I was walking
in front of him.
No, yeah, right in front of him.
Directly in front of him.
I was on the side, and he threw it and turned it over, and it just, like, all of a sudden it was like, whoa, hey, whoa. And before I could figure out, it, like, hit me in the leg.
Yeah.
And that cost him the world title for distance, right?
Yeah.
Lost it by like 3
But he
inches.
did win that year.
Oh, okay.
That's when he won his world title. So there. So people hit me.
So next time I play Worlds,
you're going to hit me?
Yes, that's correct.
Next question comes from Cole.
Hey guys, what's up? I just have a question about signature discs. Do signature discs fly different than just normal discs, or is it just the name on the disc? I'm looking particularly at Page Pierce Defenders, the Biofusion. Thank you.
Good question.
Yeah.
It depends on the time that they're run, right? So we've got Tour Series discs, of which we still have some available at the dynamicdiscs.com online store and then our in-person retail store. So the Lucid X versions of the discs, of the Convict and Trespass and Felon, Enforcer, those definitely are more overstable than their regular counterparts.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Well, yeah. But I was just going to say I don't consider those signature discs.
Right. I'm saying, that's Tour Series.
Yeah, Tour
But
Series.
signature discs are the ones where the person's signature is in the stamp of the mold, right? So now all Bio Defenders have Paige Pierce's stamp.
Stock stamp that you can't get without her name on it.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. So those depend on when they were made. So there are some Bio Defenders that the very first ones that Paige Pierce had her name on came out really, really flat. And so they fly a little bit differently than the current Bio Defenders, which are quite a bit more domey. Same as EMAC Truths. There's certain runs that are just a little bit different from one another. So they're not always different. It just depends on how the plastic is cooling and molding up at that point.
Yeah. For the most part, it's basically just a stamp.
Yep. That's it.
All right, now
And magic.
and magic. I can be magic.
What song was that?
I don't know.
Why didn't you go with Do You Believe in Magic?
Oh yeah. Do you believe in? I don't know the melody for that.
Well, let's just go on to the next question.
Yeah, next question comes from name, no name,
Chat.
Chat. I'm in a putting slump. Do you guys throw yourselves out or take time off when or if this happens? I've tried both and it's not working. Looking for any tips and any and all tips. Thanks for doing what you do.
I've absolutely had many putting slumps in my career, and a couple things have really helped me get through them. Time off does help. Just taking if you play regularly, like every day, take a couple days off and just don't even touch a disc. And then the other one that's really, really helped is I take like 6 putters of the same mold, whatever I'm putting with, and I just find 2 baskets that are roughly 30, 40 feet apart and just kind of putt back and forth. If you only have one basket, that's fine too. You just use that one basket. And I only do it for 30 minutes. 30 minutes is about the maximum that I want to spend out at the putting green, putting over and over. The repetition is great. It's about the right time. And I notice toward the end, if I start missing, it's because I'm getting tired or getting lazy with the putt, as opposed to, I'm focusing on not following through all the way or whatever goes on through my mind. So to me personally, half an hour works about best. Half an hour a day, And I've noticed improvements.
Yeah.
Coming out of slumps.
Right.
So,
and you've been putting really well lately too.
and I've been doing that a lot lately.
Definitely.
Like every night in the evenings go out. Even if I've played a round of disc golf, because you don't get a lot of reps out on the course, hopefully, when you're putting.
Hopefully, yeah.
So I even in the evenings, I'll go out and give just a quick half hour when I'm out back watering the yard or whatever.
Yeah,
So.
I think that's a really good time as well. And I would add to that too, if you're in a putting slump, get around a basket and make sure that all of your fundamentals are in place, that you haven't developed some bad habit that's causing you to miss, a hitch in your swing or too many moving parts or something like that. A lot of times when I've fallen into a slump, it's because I've been focusing on the wrong thing, right? Like thinking too much about my arm or too much about my legs, and instead of just throwing the putter in the basket and focusing on my link all the way. So,
yeah. Well, one other thing that actually kind of helps me is Bobby can relate to this, or he can understand that this is something I stress all the time, is practice like you play.
Oh, yeah.
And what that means is if you have a stack of 6 putters, don't go out with 6 putters in your hand while you're putting.
Jam.
Take a stool with you, put them on the ground or whatever the case may be. But, if you putt with an extra putter in your left hand, do that when you're practicing as well.
Yep, absolutely.
Excellent. Next question comes from Matheson. Huh. This one's for Robert. So, Robert, why do most premium plastic wardens have that high shoulder? My first Fusion Warden is a beautifully flat top disc, exact same shape as the classic plastics, but every other premium Warden I've bought or held has a shoulder that makes it feel so different. Sad face. Also, if you have any super flat top Fusion Wardens, find me on FB.
I do have a lot of those. Thank you for asking. I don't know the answer to that, to tell you the truth. We did get to see the machines that mold our discs while we were over in Europe.
And here's the video.
Yeah, we will show them to you in its entirety. Super duper cool stuff. They get about as consistent as I think they can. But then sometimes with different plastics, they just cool a little bit differently. And that's a lot of times what results in that higher shoulder or flat top. It just... the plastic they're using at that time may be just a hair different than what they did the last time. Maybe they were allowed to cool in a different way, and that's kind of it. I would recommend to you, if you are throwing a flat top one and you don't really love how the ones with a high shoulder feel, try it out anyway. I've found I found them to be really comparable with one another, whether they're flat or domey, unless they're super domey, in which case they're very overstable.
True.
Excellent. All right, let's go back to Speak Pipe, and this next one is from Andrew.
Hey, Disc Golf Answerman. This is Andrew from Minnesota. I had a form question. Been watching a lot of the coverage this year, and I noticed that on the brace leg, a lot of the pros have their knee on their brace leg is kind of bent. And when I watch film of myself throwing, I have pretty much almost a locked knee on that brace leg. Is it more power to have that knee bent? Should I try to be learning how to have that knee bent a little, or is having a kind of almost a stiff, rigid lock leg doesn't really matter? Just curious, something I noticed when watching coverage and comparing it to form video that I've taken of myself. Thanks. Bye.
A little knee bend is important.
I agree.
You obviously don't want to be lock-kneed on it. You're definitely going to lose consistency and distance with that. But yeah, a little bit. I would absolutely go out and try some of it.
Yeah, and if nothing else other than it's a more athletic position.
Athletic position, and one would argue healthier for your
definitely.
body. So.
But I mean, think about the other sports that we watch. Basketball, people don't shoot when their knees are locked out.
That one ball kid from the Lakers does.
Yeah, but come on.
Yeah, no, come on. Pretty bad.
But I mean, even like even sports that aren't
I don't even know who you're talking about.
even sports that aren't super athletically involved, a lot of times have that knee bend because it's just a more athletic position. True. So definitely safer. It'll give you more longevity in the sport. But for me, I think that allows you to probably engage your hips and your whole body just a little bit more because you have more hinges that can absorb some shock instead of just once you straighten that leg, you're really taking that hinge out of play. Now, or you're putting a lot more stress on it than you need to. So that's what I say.
What's basketball?
I've never heard of it.
All right, next one comes from Ryan. What you got for us, Ryan?
Hello, Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze.
What's up,
Eric,
Ryan?
you've created the best disc in the world, McCabe.
Yeah.
And Robert, 1,000 hair rated McCall.
Well, I'll take
This
it
is
any way I
Ryan
can get
from Michigan. I had 2 questions for you. The first one is a rules question. I was playing a doubles tournament today, and my partner was first on the box and proceeds to throw an ace.
Oh, nice.
Now,
Sweet.
has he completed the hole, or am I okay to throw and try to make an ace run of myself since there is an ace pot and money on the line? Or do I just need to take his ace and move along?
That's a great question. I've never heard this question
It was
before.
a sanctioned doubles tournament?
Yeah.
Okay.
And his partner aced, so technically he holed out, so they're done. Does he get to throw?
I mean, I think it's still, if it's a regular old doubles tournament, it's still best shot. So, I mean, everybody throws, say we go out and play doubles, as we have before Sweep the Leg, 2-time champions. Anyway, it's not a big deal, but it's kind of a big deal. So, say Eric and I are going to play disc golf. I throw a shot that ends up close to the basket. Eric throws a shot that ends up even slightly closer to the basket. We take Eric's shot. Now, if that's in reverse order, if his is first and mine's second and mine's farther away, well, I still got to throw even though I wasn't as close.
Yeah, I see that, but
I think it's the same no matter what.
no matter what.
Yeah, you've completed the hole, but your partner still gets to throw.
True, but what if I hit a 40-foot putt? Do you get to try to putt too?
No, but if
How's that different?
But if I wanted to, then
You know what I mean?
I guess that makes sense. I hadn't thought about it.
Yeah.
Now, if you're playing doubles with somebody who doesn't already offer you a split of the ace,
That's true too.
then and the whole
need to
reason
find a
you're
new partner.
Yes, the whole reason you're throwing is to try and get a part of the ace pot. No, thanks, man.
Yeah. that's
So
true.
you're telling me, okay, so
That's a good question. I hadn't
That's
thought
what
about
it
it.
is. Yeah, back to the putt scenario.
Uh-huh.
So if you did a 40-foot putt,
Jam
then
sesh.
I can't putt at all.
Correct.
Right. Because our hole's completed. It would be
Yeah.
a practice throw.
We'd be done.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like
So
that
I
would be
guess-
the same.
I guess then you're right. I don't know. I've
Yeah.
never encountered that.
That would
before.
make
I
sense.
never have either, but
But in
I would
match play, you
assume.
can, right?
In match play,
Match play's
once the hole's
different.
completed, you can do pretty
can
much
do-
whatever you
yeah,
want.
Whatever you want.
Because I had a couple people that were like, I'm allowed to putt right there because they kind of wanted to
Yeah.
keep their putting game
Yeah,
going.
definitely.
Interesting.
Yeah. This did happen to me one time, not sanctioned, but it was the first time I had seen an ace. My partner hit it, and I had never played with him before. It was in Abilene. Alan Rogers.
Shout out.
Yeah, he hits a lot of aces. And so I just dropped my disc off the front of the tee box, and we went and took
Stroke.
his. And then, stroke. But then afterwards, he told me we were splitting, and I was like, I hadn't even thought about that. This is awesome.
Yeah.
So I've split with everybody
Yeah.
since.
Oh yeah. You have to, especially your doubles partner.
Here's another. Oh no, we didn't. He had two parts
had
of his
two
question.
parts.
All right, back to your question, Ryan. Oh, here we go.
Second question. After watching Paul Macbeth destroy the toboggan up here in Michigan, I wondered, how do you guys prefer to win if you had the choice? Is it more gratifying to shoot course records and have a massive lead going into the final round and just smooth sailing to victory? Or do you like to grind it out, maybe go up and down, not always playing your best game, but really work for that victory and just grinding it out? Thanks. And as always, keep it real.
I gotta imagine now. I'm one to speak. I mean, obviously, I'm
Numerous.
You've
wins.
been in both of those situations a lot.
So
W's.
no, I guess my
Fitties, hundreds.
W's. No, what I was thinking in my mind is that it depends on your perspective or your outlook. If you're thinking, oh, a good video, that would be good if like we were neck and neck all the way up to the last hole. That would make for a good video. But if I was a player,
I'm not thinking about the video though.
right. As a player, I'm thinking I want that 5-stroke comfortable lead going into the last 9 holes or something like
Last
that.
5 holes or last
Or, yeah.
last hole. Sure, there's something said about a good fought battle that it's back and forth the entire time, that maybe you jam a putt on the last hole for the W, but at the end of the day, you take home the same trophy if you won by 1 or if you
Same
won
amount of
by
dollars.
a bunch. I would personally rather cruise control that final round.
Mm-hmm. Because you've done the hard work already.
Mm-hmm.
Like Paul at Great Lakes.
Yeah.
I mean, and
He already had a lead going into that, right?
Or Eagle at Conapiche. Like,
Yes.
just
Yeah.
You've already shredded too. you don't really have to do much except for just show up
and not screw up.
Now, if you are in that position and you do screw it up, that's the worst feeling in the world.
It is. And that's always in the back of your mind. No, I don't care how strong of a mind player you are or head games and all that. It's there. It's in your head. You do not want to screw that up.
For sure. So when I have been in that a bit of a lead position, I always just play same game plan as before. Maybe not super duper aggressive if I picked a super aggressive play to start, but that's rarely what I would do anyway. I'm pushing for the same shots, same lines. I may be a little bit less aggressive on putts or something if there's OB nearby, but otherwise I'm playing pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I just thought it would be interesting in that analysis to see if, because we all know McBeth is good about the comeback, in the final rounds.
Sure.
He's really good about making up when he has a large stroke deficit.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what the comparison or
how well he plays in the final round when he's in the lead and when he's behind. Is that what you mean?
I'm thinking is some events you only play on one course for all 3-4 rounds, whereas other events you play different courses, and I wonder if there's some kind of correlation between it being the same course or because it's a different course he's able to make a comeback.
I can see that. Yeah, it makes perfect sense to where like he's more comfortable with the course. He's familiar now. He knows where to be, where not to be kind of stuff.
Right.
Maybe so, yeah. Although you'd think most of these guys get there early enough to practice enough where they feel prepared. So I think that wouldn't be as big an effect, but probably an effect, yeah.
And honestly, most of the tournaments now are one or maybe two courses. You don't really see on the tour anymore where it's multiple courses that these pros are having to play.
And before, I liked playing multiple courses because I got to see more courses. Yeah. But now that I don't have as much time to prepare, like Des Moines this coming weekend is 4 courses.
4 courses for one day.
So really long day. I'm lucky that I can get there a couple of days early and practice, but golly, I'm not trying to.
Golly
practice.
Then my other question,
courses.
question I would wonder what the answer is.
You should send it in a disc golf answer.
I know. No, it's just McBeth does so well in the comeback. He's not a bad. Obviously, he's a good player. Why didn't you play well the first 2 rounds? Well, is it really the pressure? Is it really pressure that really makes you excel?
Maybe the pressure is what helps push him to that next level.
I mean, that would,
knowing he needs to chase something down, playing for the crowd.
I can't imagine that he's playing lackadaisically before that.
No.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like, why not the
why
level
not shoot
you're playing
18 down the first round?
Right. Why? Well, that whatever level your brain is at on round 3, why can't that be round 1 and 2 or round 1?
I mean, his 18 down was round 2.
Right.
Okay.
I do think there's a certain kind of fight or flight response where either I have to show up or I'm going to lose. I do think there's something special about that last round because you know the outcome is pending. Like impending. Like it's very close.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's I'm the same way for whatever reason. Like all through my career, I always started slow for whatever reason. I always had a slower start. I don't know if it was, after 2-3 rounds, you get comfortable. You get more comfortable on the shots, playing the golf, doing whatever it is. But yeah, even tournaments this year, I've started slow, but came back. Like the Memorial started really slow. Toonie started really slow. And then, battled my way back. So I don't know. Maybe it's just.
So yeah, what is going? I mean, I remember the first round you played. You didn't do well at all, and then of course the next round you shot the hot round. The third round you shot the hot round.
Mm-hmm.
So was it in your mind? You're thinking, were you like, what did I come here for? To not play well? I'm going to play
Possibly,
well.
Maybe a little bit of that. Maybe also the fact that I was one of the the highest rated player in that field, and I possibly put a little added pressure on myself
for the first round
for that, and you go out there and you just don't perform. You're not comfortable yet, until like 6, 7, 8 holes in, and then it's maybe you struggled a little in the beginning, and then the next day you can come out with a whole new fresh slate and just play golf.
I'd be curious to ask Paul myself, not for an interview, or not just casually, just walk up and just ask him.
So why do you suck so bad the first rounds?
No, I mean,
I know what you're saying.
I understand there's so many variables going on, real life, outside of disc golf type stuff and all kinds of things. So
It'll be interesting.
I'm sure he has some added pressure, because 2 years ago he was the man to beat. Now he's kind of like not as much in the limelight, not for the same thing he was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe that's some sort of pressure that he's dealing with.
Sure.
I don't know. Anyway, next one is from Paul Macbeth. No, it's from Adam. Hello, I've played in 3 unsanctioned tournaments in the last year, including a recent trilogy challenge, and have an etiquette question. In all 3 tournaments, I left right after my round ended because I would have to wait an hour for the awards due to lunch/field games.
Okay.
If I know that I did not play well enough to win anything and my scorecard is submitted, is it rude to drive away instead of waiting?
Nah.
No, that's fine.
No.
Especially on flex starts, unsanctioned stuff. Yeah, you don't have to stick around.
No, I would say the only time that you really, really should stick around is if it's a larger event and you got a podium spot.
Yep, I agree.
Other than that, no.
Yeah, I usually try to stick around if possible, even if I was in 5th, 6th, something where you're not going to be called up, but just to support the tournament. But there are times when, we're a ways away from home. Maybe that same night I have 6 hours left.
And it's Sunday.
Yeah.
And you have to work the next morning or whatever.
So taking off as early as possible is really beneficial. But no, I think as long as you're not shunning some responsibility to be there on the podium, do your thing.
All right. Evan's got a not a controversial, but wants an inside.
Do we need the disclaimer?
No, I don't think so. He says, "Hey guys, keep up the great work. Question for Robert.
Ooh.
Oh.
Do you make a call to Paul, Simon, or Eagle, etc. at the end of every season? I know there's some movement every off season, but do you ever try to poach another manufacturer's top player?" Now, I'm sure there's a level of you can't really say, but
right. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm really at liberty to talk about it a whole lot. I will tell you there are some players that I think would fit well with our company, who I've reached out to, who are both sponsored and not sponsored. I would not say that at the end of every season I reach out to every top player and say, "Please come be on our team." That's not it at all.
if you do it like that, no wonder they don't come to our team.
Yeah, well, I've tried lots of different tactics. We know that one doesn't work. No, I mean, it's just if I think a player would work well for us, maybe I reach out to him. Maybe I think it's not financially viable for us. Yeah, I feel like that's about all I can say about it.
There's sometimes I've wanted to say things and I know we can't, but just knowing a lot of the inside stuff, people don't understand how much players shop around. I'll put it that way.
Sure.
Is that bad to say?
No. I think there are a lot of players who want to know what their best option is.
Right.
And whether they end up staying with the same company or move over to another one. There's a lot of backstory that isn't known and will never be known. And I guess a big response to that question too is a lot of times when I hear people talking about that or asking about that, like I'd say a really decent percentage of my job is just biting my tongue because I know a lot, but it's not beneficial for me to share it, nor is it mine really to share.
Right. I just, when I see stuff on forums and stuff online, it's just like, if I could only just say this, but
well, and it sucks.
It would serve no purpose.
Exactly.
Other than my own little whatever.
Exactly. Because people think that they know the reason that somebody is leaving a company for another one or doing something different. And you just don't. Unless you know the person personally and they've told you, and even then you may not know the real reasons that people would shop around or move to a different company or something like that. So good question.
Good question.
I do a lot of biting my tongue about it.
Next one comes from, actually, let's talk a little bit about match play.
Let's do that.
Discgolfmatchplay.com. Doubles brackets are going on right now. You have until the end of August, I believe.
Yeah.
So you can still join. You can still go find one in your area. I'm hoping to be able to film. I think, I may be gone next week because I think Jeremy and Kevin are battling out with, who did we say? Do you remember?
Yeah, they are playing Taco and Corey.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I can talk Anthony and then Danny into doing some fun stuff with that.
Yeah.
Probably not.
All right.
They both just shake their heads.
Look the other way. Not me. So anyway, so discgolfmatchplay.com. If you're into the match play type play, which is really fun, it was interesting when we had the United States Amateur Match Play, the singles championship here, just watching players as they played and the outcome. I didn't know a lot of the guys, but checking out who they were and where they're from, some of the outcomes didn't turn out like I thought they would.
Right.
And that's what made it interesting with the match play type setup. So,
and the guy that won was my doubles partner on Wednesday night tags match. So,
nice.
Just saying.
Well done,
If
Matt.
you want to win next year, come to tags and be my partner.
Come to tags, and both for the doubles, 2 people can be your partner.
Yeah,
and
sure.
then both of them will win.
There we go.
You're
Let's
welcome.
do this.
All right, discgolfmatchplay.com to get more information. Next question is
Y'all
from
would have a great shot. 3 people on the team.
And
Scott.
we didn't win doubles that night either.
This is Scott from Illinois. I want to thank Robert and Bobby for signing my Renegade. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
I got 2 questions. My first question is, I've going to start playing tournaments next year. I'm working on my form and getting my arm speed to where I need it to be. Is it all right if I jump right into intermediate, or would you recommend rec? Because I really like the rules of the aspect of the game. I don't want to play with a bunch of people that don't play with the rules. So your question there. And my second question is...
We'll get to that one first. Go ahead.
I would test the waters in rec. I mean, it's your first tournament. I understand that, just because it says recreational doesn't mean that a lot of the players don't play by the rules. But if it's your first ever tournament, I mean, I guess you could argue that intermediate would be a good spot for you to start out as well. But I really believe the rec division is not as loose as everybody says it is. You know what I mean?
And it depends on the tournament that you end up
and
at.
the card. I would recommend start out in rec, and if maybe you'll dominate. Maybe you won't have a good time. Then maybe your second event you can move up to intermediate and kind of base it off your first 2 experiences.
Sure. The first tournament I played was advanced just because I wanted to know, and I ended up playing poorly. But the second tournament was the next day, and I played well.
And played
rec. Yeah, that's right. No, it was also advanced. But I felt like I was in the right spot at that point. And so I don't think there's a really wrong answer. Just go play and enjoy yourself, and then you'll have a better idea after you play. Because tournament golf is different than golf.
It is.
It really is.
All right, next. Or let's get his second part of his question.
When putting, is it good to start off with a loft putt or a spin putt? Any suggestions? Thanks.
I'm sure we'll have different answers, but you can go ahead.
Honestly, when starting out, to me, I don't think there's any. It depends on where you live too, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with starting out with a loft putt, just because you're going to see a lot less 3 putts than you're going to see starting out with a spin putt. Maybe you can gravitate to a spin putt after you get a little more consistency. And if you're in Illinois, there's probably some wind there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wooded courses there too, though, so it's kind of hard to tell the difference in the 2 putting techniques, but. Starting out, I would recommend just a little lofty, pushy putt. Just it honestly will help you eliminate a lot of 3 putts.
Yeah, I would say score wise, 100% agree with you. If this is what you thrive on, and this is not the right thing to thrive on, but just if this is you and you love the big play, like, oh man, I just jammed an 80-footer and that was awesome. You're going to make more of those with a spin putt. So if that's what you want and you don't really...
By more of them, he means maybe like once a month.
Yes. It's extremely infrequently, but probably more than with a push putt.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm not recommending that, but that's some people like to play disc golf because they really want to pull off a great shot, right? And that's all well and good. You can hit all the 80 footers you want to, but I'm going to be happier if I'm not 3-putting a lot, if I'm making my putts inside the circle and then not being super aggressive. So I would start off with more of a loftier putt, but if you just want the big play and that's what you want, spin putt's going to be your friend.
Spin to win.
Next one is from Angelo.
Hey, Disc Golf Answerman crew, this is Angelo Robledo coming at you with another question from Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, I've been playing disc golf since early January, and starting in March, I played about 2 to 3 days a week, taking it a little more seriously. And I was playing okay, progressing normally through my beginner and novice stages. Joined my local club and wasn't having any pain, getting solid drives out there. However, in late May, I started developing elbow pain for my forehands that spread to my backhands. And I changed nothing about my schedule. I was still playing 2 to 3 rounds a week, and just all of a sudden had this pain. Now, I took a month off hoping to recover, and when I came back, I only played about once a week just to kind of test out my elbow, and the pain is still there. I've even had to stop some rounds halfway through because I just couldn't finish with the pain in my elbow from both my forehands and some of my backhands. I was wondering if you guys had ever experienced anything similar or known anybody who has, and had any tips about how to either strengthen the elbow or change my form in order to prevent some of this injury, because I really love disc golf and want to keep playing, but this is preventing me from playing, and I feel like I'm a little too young to start having joint pain at 19 years old. So any tips you guys have would help and be much appreciated. Thanks for all you guys do for the disc golf community, and keep it real.
Before anybody answers, we're going to make sure that we are not doctors or physicians.
True.
If you are having severe pain, make sure you consult a doctor or somebody. Beyond that,
I have watched all of Scrubs, so I'm basically a doctor.
Oh, well, I'm Grey's Anatomy, so I'm.
Oh yeah.
I'll let you go.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
Not
I
really
will-
into doctor shows.
You'll have some
Kinda make me
secondary.
feel
Oh, and I've
wheezy.
watched House too, so I can make the really deep
okay.
diagnoses. Okay.
There's a YouTube channel. I can't remember the name of it, but I watched a little bit at lunch. But it's a real doctor, and he watches like clips of Grey's Anatomy and stuff, and he like totally debunks
Just
some
like
stuff.
no. Awesome. Anyway, what you I've had what I think you're struggling with, and it's called tennis elbow, and it's really
No, this is disc golf.
Oh, he was playing disc golf. Disc golf
Yes,
elbow.
yes, yes.
Oh,
I believe
okay.
is what it's
Well, I've
called.
never heard of disc golf elbow, but I have heard of tennis. Honestly, what it is, what it probably is, I haven't been around you or anything, but
And he's not a doctor.
I'm also not a doctor. But I have had this same thing happen, same symptoms. It started when I was working on my forehands a lot. And what it is tendinitis in your elbow. And then one of your tendons, your ligaments kind of in that area, a lot of times because of that inflammation will get out of place a little bit. And so the best thing that you can do is twofold. One is rest. Sounds like you've already done that. But two, they make these bands. It's called tennis elbow band.
Is that the name?
Yeah. The tennis elbow band.
All right.
It was the name of my band in high school also. It was strange, but whatever. You can find those at Walgreens, Walmart, name it. And you actually just put it just on the forearm side of your elbow. And that helps keep that tendon and ligament and everything in place so that you don't have as much inflammation. I only had to use mine for maybe a month and a half or two before it went away. And since I haven't had any issues with it, I would say start using it and then play with it for a few holes. And as soon as you have pain, stop. And then you should be able to kind of keep going from there.
Cool. Chaser says Grey's Anatomy is terrible. Like 5 people die every day, every episode. How is that hospital still operating? Chaser, they have a lot of lawsuits going on right now. So, we'll have to kind of wait it out and see. We're trying to get funding for it. Next question comes from Rob.
What up, Rob?
I am 47 years old and have only been playing for 2.5 months.
It is not me.
I am currently throwing a fairway driver about 250 feet.
That is you.
My main focus at this point is form work, but I do have a question about disc selection. The fastest disc in my bag right now is a 6. I would like to add a distance driver to my bag. Ooh, 6 is kind of...
Misslin.
Yeah. My question has to do with disc speed and weight. Can someone with a slower arm throw a faster disc but lower weight, or should they go with something more understable? This is probably more in line with my skill set, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not
Yeah.
the advice necessarily, but
the distance, definitely.
Probably actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a fairway driver?
Correct.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So I recently made the choice, Rob, to not throw anything above a trespass, which is a speed 12.
Speed-wise.
That's right.
Yeah, speed 12. Nothing above a trespass, which is speed 12. Of course, I do have a defender and an enforcer in there, but that's for super windy days when it's real windy. And the reason I did is because I started to realize that I don't have a fast arm. I don't have a big arm. And there were times where I'm watching guys that are my age, and they're not throwing at 90, 80%. They're throwing like at 70, nice, smooth form, and they're getting the distance. And I realized it's because of the disc they chose. They didn't choose a fast disc because they thought if they ripped it, they could get up to speed and it'll go fast. They were just throwing the right disc, throwing it at the right angle. And so I've been having good luck with my Trespass when I need it for a headwind, my Maverick when I got some tailwind or no wind or a little bit of headwind, my Renegade, which is a speed 11, I believe. So I don't know that getting a fast disc, even in a lower weight, will be the answer for you.
I would stick towards something more understable.
Yes.
And then even understable lighter weight will be good for sure. And if it gets too understable, then okay, I can step up to a heavier weight. But I would stick to something probably along the lines of like the Maverick would be really good. That's in the speed kind of range that you're throwing right now. If you wanted to step up from that, you'd want to go something probably more understable than an Escape because you really want it to turn on its own. That's the goal, is to be able to throw something with even a little hyzer or slightly flat and let it turn on its own. I see a recommendation for the Hatchet. That might be a good choice.
Hatchet was a good one. I
used to love that disc.
Yeah, and then every now and then I threw the Northman.
And what's the other one that you had for a while? Had Underworld.
Underworld.
You had an Underworld for a while too.
I noticed that the Hatchet, the Maverick kind of took over what?
The mattress?
Mattress, yeah. We have a new one coming out called the Mattress. What was I saying? The Northman and the Maverick took over really what I was kind of thinking for the Hatchet. I used to throw a Bio Sheriff because of that same thinking of faster but lower weight. Yeah, and it beats in faster. But the thing is if I were to throw the Bio Sheriff 10 times, maybe 3 or 4 would be really nice. And that was frustrating me. So I'm like, why am I trying so hard when I can pick up a Renegade or a Maverick and get some good flight and still get decent
and not hurt
distance?
yourself?
Right.
What about the Freedom? You used to love that disc.
But the same thing. It felt finicky. Like more often than not, I couldn't get it to throw right for me.
And that's what happens when you get more understable discs with the wider rims.
Right.
That's what's going to happen.
Because I would throw it for a few times, like, oh, the Freedom, yeah. And then I'd go play a round and be like, what's going on, Freedom? So why get so frustrated trying to throw these high-speed discs and just stick with lower speed?
Yeah. Right.
Is what I'm getting at, I guess.
In general, with the lower speed, you have a greater margin for error because the disc is spinning more slowly. So that's going to be more forgiving to you most of the time.
And I will admit, I still get, I don't think it's called envious or whatever, but, I'll see these guys with these fast discs and they'll throw them and I'm like, why can't I do that? And then I have to stop and say, it's okay.
Right.
It's okay.
You got to just play your game.
Because even like Natalie, she loves the Captain.
Captain.
Of course, she
El
obviously.
Capitan.
Oh, yeah, she kept saying, she would throw it and she would throw it good. And she'd turn around and she'd go, El Capitan. And I'd be thinking, why can't I throw that? Don't worry about it.
Yep. Yeah.
Throw what you throw.
She throws
just
further
come on,
than you.
let it go.
She probably does. She plays a lot.
Yeah, she just plays more, probably.
Hey, why don't you be you?
Right, let me be me. Why don't you
be you?
And I'll be me.
And
Remember those shirts?
I'll be me.
Back in the day? You be you?
You be you. Ubu. Next one comes from, let's actually go with a speak pipe from Shay Stevens.
What's up, Shay?
Hi, DGAM crew. This is Shay from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. First, thank you for all you do for disc golf and to grow the sport. I had a very rough week 2 weeks ago. I host Wednesday evening tags, and halfway through the event, I ripped my pants on a tee shot.
Oh.
I finished the round with an appropriate level of chiding from my card mates. Then, 3 days later, I was practicing before a tournament, and on the last warm-up hole, sure enough, ripped my pants again. With 15 minutes before the players' meeting, I rushed over to Walmart, learned they don't carry any cargo shorts between sizes 30 and 40, settled on a pair of basketball shorts, and made it back in time for tee-off and shot a pretty good round. My question is, have any of you experienced any wardrobe malfunctions while disc golfing, and how did you deal? In case you're wondering, I learned my lesson and now have a bag in my car with backup shirt and shorts. Take care.
Nice.
Most people have backup shorts in their bag or cars for other reasons.
That's right. Less tearing,
but
I've never had.
Anyway, Bobby, have you had any?
I've never had a malfunction. I'm sure I've maybe torn a little bit pants or something or shirt, but nothing to where I would panicked or whatever.
Yeah.
Have you?
Nope. Not like this, at least.
Okay. I've had one. it wasn't that. I mean, it was pretty bad, but it was at USDGC. And I was on hole number 6, the beach hole, right? Yep. Threw my tee shot and heard a snap. Okay. And I'm like, oh, that didn't sound good. I'm like, I didn't think much of it. And I started walking off the tee. And at the time I was wearing Solomon's with the laces and those snapped.
Got them.
And when those snap, you're done.
Your
like
shoe
that
is useless.
shoe, and it's like super loose. It's like a shoe 3 times your size. It just doesn't work. And it was a struggle from that day.
Believe that. I did have that happen to my Solomon shoes, but at home just recently.
Yeah.
So I got a new pair of the laces, but
yeah. You can order new laces for them, but
in that situation,
you can't order new
dead.
laces on hole 6.
You're dead. You can, but they won't be there.
Yeah. Luckily, I had someone there caddying, and they had similar size feet to me.
So give me that.
I played the rest of that round with 2 different shoes.
That's pretty good.
So, but I mean, the right, it was my right shoe too. So if it was my left, I probably, if I was alone, my push off foot, I probably could have managed. I would have been okay. It wouldn't have been.
But your
pleasant,
plant foot,
But your plant foot,
no man, no good.
That's really the only one I can think of that was like, oh man, this could be bad.
Dixon told me a tournament he played recently. He went to pull up his shorts from using the restroom, and his zipper didn't become untracked. It just broke.
Oh,
so he was just fly open all day. He did not play well. I don't think I would have.
Well,
I just would have been
on your mind.
Oh, just extremely self-conscious.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey guys. I would just find the longest shirt I had in my car.
I would just own it. I would make everybody else on my card feel so uncomfortable about it. They'd be the ones playing bad, not me.
That's right. All right, next one comes from Doug. I throw a 180 star V Cobra for turnovers.
Okay.
I can't seem to trust any other disc. I have to do what I want. What is the best DD/latitude equivalent? Thanks, guys. Love the show.
I used to throw the Cobra a lot back in the day.
Yeah.
Granted, it wasn't a V Cobra. I'm not sure what's the V Cobra.
It's more of like a sharp rim. It makes it what they say is it makes it more resistant to torque.
Oh, okay.
But so if anything, just slightly more overstable than a Cobra. I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh man, that's a tough one because the Cobra is like a super old school disc that, I mean, off of flight. In my head, what I'm thinking of is the fuse.
Yep.
It's a mid-range. It's understable. It holds the right line for backhanded players. I think that'd be a great replacement potentially.
Yeah, that's what I was going to suggest. You might also try. This is more of a point and shoot rather than a strictly understable disc, but the Claymore is pretty neutral. So when I throw it hard, it moves just a little bit to the right. But either one of those might be good. I've really been liking the fuse a lot lately.
Thomas says it's the best disc he's ever designed.
That's right. And then he threw it beautifully all over the place on us.
The exact one.
Yeah.
Like the one that like one of the first ones he ever designed.
This is unbelievable. And it's still straight. It's not super understable.
And that goes back to the question before of, not ripping a disc as hard as you can, but letting the disc do the work by throwing it at 60, 70%.
Yep. Nice and smooth.
All right. Next question comes from KD. Oh.
Like
Durant?
Like Kevin Durant?
Like the Durantula?
Yeah. He's starting a podcast. He has a podcast question.
Oh, sweet.
He asks...
He's going to join the Disc Golf Answer Man podcast because that's what he does?
I produce a local podcast with minimal equipment, basically a MacBook and a Blue Yeti. You need 2 MacBooks, obviously.
Technically 3.
3, yeah. Basically a MacBook and a Blue Yeti microphone produced with Audacity. My podcast usually consists of 2 to 5 guests on the show sitting around the one mic. Oof. I'm wanting to up the sound quality without breaking the bank, mics, headset, mixer, etc. Can you do a budget rundown of equipment you would suggest to bring my podcast to the next level? Thanks for what you do for disc golf. Maybe, well, he didn't put his email address, so I can't email him.
Message back with an email if you're listening.
Yes, KD, send an email to bobby@dynamicdisc.com, and I'll kind of give you a breakdown, because if you're going to have like 2 to 5 guests and you want to up the sound level, I mean, you obviously can buy a better mic, but you're still going to have a lot of that air sound because not everybody's going to be close to the mic.
Yeah.
So
You'd almost rather have not as high quality as that Blue Yeti mics,
And
but
have
for everybody.
individual
Yep.
mics. Yeah, I mean, you could go to at the time Radio Shack. If I needed some quick ones.
Radio Shack.
I think they were like $30. So for
Is that still a thing?
A mic, Radio Shacks? Yeah, I think so.
Are they?
Not in very many places, I don't think, but I believe they're still around. So yeah, KD, if you get this, hear this on the show, email me and we can talk.
Yeah, I mean, like for the price you got the Yeti for, you could probably get Shure 58s or something like that just for a couple of people.
How much is a Yeti? I can't remember.
They're usually a couple hundred.
Oh,
58s are like 100.
Yeah,
most of the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, this one is Carl from Vegas.
Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man, guys. Robert Cool Daddy Slick Breeze, Robert Sweet Hair McCall, and Eric. I'm out doing cool things because I'm Eric McCabe. So hi to Eric's replacement, McCabe. I just wanted to ask you guys a question. First off, I just had my first ever sanctioned event as a tournament director over the weekend. And it went very, very well. I wanted to say thank you because Westside did give us a really good sponsorship package out of the deal.
Awesome.
And really couldn't have done it without them. It was really, really nice and generous of them. So thank you, first off. Second of all, I just want to get some feedback from a player perspective. What would be advice that you would want to give to a first-time TD or someone who's never really stepped up to look out for from a player's side? And then also, if you've run a tournament on your own as a TD in the past, what advice would you give to a TD who's stepping up to the plate for the first time? That's something I could have really used, I think, going into it. And I really had a good base of people helping me out here. But I'm just curious, what would you guys give for advice to people doing this for the first time? Thank you so much, and keep doing what you do. You guys are awesome. Bye.
He said a TD, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give my one advice.
Go for it.
No, two.
Yeah, great.
No, no, I'm playing two. My first one is water. Have water out on the course.
That should be your second one as well.
That should be your second one. Yes, water, water, water. Even if it's not, and I don't know, where did he say we was from? Did he say where he was from?
I didn't catch it.
Even if it's not necessarily a warm environment, when guys are out there playing, they're using up water in their body. You want to make sure you have water. The second one is communicate, communicate, communicate. Tell them over and over again. Even if you tell a rule on a hole 3 times in the caddy book, at the player meeting, you're probably still going to get questions. So tell it until you're blue in the face. Tell them until people start rolling their eyes when it comes to specific rules for that event. Because you don't want something to come back and someone say, well, you never said it. You want to be able to say, well, actually, I did. I said it at the players meeting. I said it in the rule book, the caddy book, whatever. So you want to make sure you over communicate.
Yeah. Printouts. Printouts as well.
Printouts,
like anything, something changes.
Yeah. Something. Just over communicate. I was playing at an event and
glass blown open.
No. I was playing at an event and we had, I think we talked about it on the show, we had played the hole wrong.
Oh, yeah.
My group had played the hole wrong. And one of the players, and I'm not picking on him, but this player was pretty upset that we played the wrong hole. I wasn't happy about it.
But you got over it pretty quick.
You're right, yeah, because...
what can you do now?
Yeah, what can you do? And then in my mind, I started thinking, he said it at the players meeting. And even the other player said, yep, he did, because I wrote down on the notes. Yep. And I thought, he said it, what am I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
But this other individual was still upset. And anyway, so what other advice do you guys have?
Some advice. I think Bobby nailed it pretty much with communication and water. Water being the most important. No matter where you are, you got to have water jugs on the course. And I would recommend every 3 holes is pretty good.
Yeah, and cold water. It doesn't feel like it would make that much of a difference,
but it does.
It really does. It's just cool.
It really does. And the communication thing is a big and having the course marked. You know. Spending the extra time leading up to the tournament to make sure all the OBs are marked, walking the course the day before and with some touch-up stuff that you need to do like that. Just the little things that honestly really make the event go to the next level. It's not necessarily the big things you do for the people. The payout's always great. The player packs are always good as well. But it's those little things you do for everybody to make sure that everybody's enjoying themselves and having a great time. And lastly... don't listen to the haters because you're going to get them regardless of what you do, no matter what. Those are usually the ones that speak out. You don't usually get the ones speaking out that tell you that you did a great job or thanking you for your time. I'll tell you now, thank you for your time. Thank you for hosting events.
Definitely.
Thank you for, seeing value in it and running an event and not just playing in an event, so just a couple little things there.
Definitely. And as much over preparation as you can do on the front end is best.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the tournament little scoreboard that you can, if you can pre-register and get people onto cards before, you will drastically reduce your stress on the day of.
Yeah, the better tournaments, how they will typically run is stressful, and then start,
Event,
and then
it's
boom,
like-
you kick back. That's how a well-oiled tournament will run.
Yep, I agree.
Right.
I liked what Shane Klein did at Rosedale whenever he had everybody asking him what time the second round was going to start. So he taped to his front and his back, second round start, 1:15.
Nice.
So even if he was turned away working on the board or whatever, because that's the most common question. So something to think about.
Yeah. That and where are the bathrooms?
That's right.
The cheese is old and moldy. Where is the restroom?
This next one is from Mark. Quick question. I'm assuming EMAC can handle this one. What plastic is the most overstable for the EMAC Truth, and which plastic keeps it out of the box from form the longest? What?
Keeps it out of the box.
Out of the box form the longest.
Okay, that one to me is the Lucid. That one holds its stability the longest, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And then out of the box, the most overstable. Now, if you're counting Fluid and Lucid X, I would say Fluid is probably the most overstable.
Or Lava.
Lava, I'm sorry, not Fluid. The Lava is probably the most overstable. Followed up by the Lucid X. And then it just kind of goes down from there. They say you can put Prime in that. Well, Prime is the most overstable version. Sure it is until you throw it once and then it's not. Because it does tend to feed in a little bit quicker.
It works into straighter more quickly.
And there's benefits to having that as well. But my go-to, what I recommend is just your either Lucid or your Fusion. Either one of those, whatever plastic preference you have. I tend to like the Lucid a little bit more. I think it's a little bit more overstable than the Fusion and holds its stability longer.
Yep.
Excellent. What do we got? We got one more question on SpeakPipe. This is from Not Robert's wife, Zach Schweitzer.
Oh.
That's a shout out to the guy who said Shay, not Robert's wife.
Not Robert's wife, yeah.
What's going on, cool daddy Slick Breeze?
I mean,
I love it.
I
this one's on
appreciate
purpose.
it.
This one's
You
for
think
sure
it's
on
on
purpose.
purpose?
I guaranteed it is.
That has to be on purpose.
Okay, the reason I'm laughing is because he emphasized the wrong vowel, the wrong word,
Yes.
but it's still funny.
Surely that's on purpose.
I'm
It has
sure
to
it
be.
is.
Let's see what he says.
Eric McCabe and Robert McCall. With Junior Worlds wrapping up and hearing the last few episodes of the Disc Golf Answer Man, my question is, was there any bad parenting going on out on the course? Was there any Will Ferrell in the movie Kicking and Screaming style parents out there?
Yeah.
And if there were, can you expose them? I would, well, you don't have to say their names, but it would be cool to hear some funny stories. I'm sure there aren't none. So, okay. Bye.
I drive a Dodge Stratus. Yeah. That's all I can think of.
I don't. Let's see. I didn't, and I would never call anybody out like
I would.
No,
I'm kidding.
But I didn't see any bad. Like there wasn't anybody I thought, wow, that's terrible. I did see some that maybe were a little overbearing.
Yeah.
And the kids were pretty young. It didn't seem like it was a. Like the kid wasn't like totally put off by it, sure. But the kid was out there just having a good time throwing some plastic, and I think the parent was wanting a little bit more out of the child, but not anything more to make me kind of chuckle, not anything that was like alarming or anything like that. But I didn't see any. Other than that, it seemed like everybody was having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure it happened. Yeah. I mean, I can almost guarantee you it happened. I didn't personally see any of it, but I spent all of my time following around the under 15 male lead card, I guess is what you would say. I was following Isaiah and Arlene House. I followed both of their rounds every day, so I didn't see any of that on their cards, obviously. Maybe when you get down to the 12 and unders, I could see maybe some of that type stuff, but like I said, it probably happened, but I didn't personally witness any of it.
Sure. I saw a couple of parents kind of dictate every shot for their child to say, pick this disc, throw it this way. Mm-hmm. And that, I mean, I get it. You're strategizing, but there's sometimes when I would have loved to just seen what the child chose, you know? And now a lot of times that's the way that they've always played, you know,
when they go out and play casual rounds at home, he hands them a disc or they hand them a disc and
So that may just be what's most familiar to them. But that's
what happened with Paul McBeth in his 18 under round. His grandfather actually was out there handing him every disc and telling him where to go. And he could probably do that and still shoot just as good.
Here's this. Yeah, that was funny. But I would have liked to see them choose on their own. However, that's not how some of their relationships are. And so anything just blatantly bad, though, I didn't see any of that.
No, and I mean, for the most part,
what a great week.
It was a great week. The parents and just seeing the kids, what are the 10 and under, 8 and younger? Yeah, 8 and what am I saying?
I'm not sure.
8 and under.
Younger? You were trying to say younger.
I mean, it just was cool to see them because some of them were just having a good time, but some of them were like into it, like into their form and into the picking the disc and stuff like that. The best card was what group was Ava in? Was it
eight and under?
8
girls,
and under. Her and 2 other girls they seemed to play on the same card because I can't remember how many people were in that division. But after the round, they would hug and they would cheer each other on, and it was just like, it was just kind of cool.
It's like that in the Masters division too.
Is it you guys hug each other?
Yeah, hug it out.
But that was just really cool. In fact, I got a picture one time of them hugging at the end of the round, and that was just really cool. So
the best thing that came out of Junior Worlds was the little whatever you call a GIF or GIF, wherever you live, of that little was it 6 and under girl that made the putt and did the little shimmy. That was the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Funny.
So cool. Oh my god.
We got one more
10 and under girls for Ava.
Was it Ava?
Sorry.
10 and under? Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that was really cool. We got one last question on SpeakPipe for the YouTube guys that are watching. Put in your questions real quick. We'll answer a few questions before we end the YouTube live, or before we end the whole show. But while we're answering this last question, get a few questions in for the YouTube watchers.
What's going on, Bob?
Okay.
In your face.
In your face.
There's an internet rule, a law of internet that's becoming or happening is that when you don't want something to happen, you don't tell people you don't want something to happen because then it just happens.
Right.
And that's what's happening.
You're going to get memed hard on.
I don't want people to send me money.
Same here. No money.
Stop sending money. Stop.
Please.
It's so embarrassing.
McCabe and McCall. So I was just curious.
McCall.
I'm able to get some late turn out of some of my beat-in pures. Is there such thing as late turn in drivers? I throw biofusion defenders for my flippy shots, but I don't know that I've ever seen one have late turn. I have ones that are really flippy that I can put it on a big hyzer and have them turn, farther in the flight just because of more hyzer. But is it possible to get a late turn on a distance driver like a defender, or is there another one that will do it better? Is it real? Let me know. Thanks.
Real
Love
life.
you too. Bye.
I love you too,
Bob. Hey, man, listen here. That's funny. Yes, it's possible. It's easier to do with putters because they don't have that natural stability that comes with speed that faster distance drivers have. So sometimes when you throw a putter up on hyzer, it'll take a minute to get up to flat, and then it starts going to the right. Same sort of thing on distance drivers. really the only way that you could get a late turn without some crazy air bounce is throwing something that's pretty understable and throwing it on enough hyzer to get it to turn slowly up to flat and then turn to the right. It's a shot that takes a lot of trust in your disc because I guess you could throw a neutral disc flat and hard and have it turn a little bit late, but most of the time it's going to require a good bit of understability to get it to flip late like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. All right, we got a few questions on YouTube that we'll get to, but before we do, I want to remind everybody we have some Disc Golf Answer Man t-shirts. In fact, if you're watching YouTube, let's have Robert stand up a little bit so people can see.
Hello.
This is the olive green, hunter olive
juice,
hunter green.
Oh, hunter's more dark, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm just messing with you though.
Olive green, and we have some blues and black. So we have plenty of those left. So make sure you go to dynamicdisc.com.
Yes.
Pick one of those up. If you've ever got any value out of listening to the Disc Golf Answer Man show, I encourage you to pick yourself up one of the shirts.
Now, we'll sign it for you, but shirts are kind of hard to sign. So we'll also be happy to sign a disc if you want to buy one at the same time.
Correct.
A Disc Golf Answer Man disc.
I need to get some of the new molds.
Put your hands together.
I need to get some new molds on that. Let's see. The OW Vanguard says, do you do course design catering to a specific skill level?
Do I do it to a yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll do anything from elementary school, like putt, like literal putt golf, to championship level.
Yeah.
There's no in between on what I'll do.
Course sales at dynamicdiscs.com.
That is the one.
And see what's possible. Yeah. Salix says, should I use stable or understable discs to practice forehand with?
I like understable to start just so you can get a really smooth release.
I don't recommend forehands at all.
It's a dumb shot. Why would anyone throw it?
Yeah.
No, I think learning on something understable or even just kind of neutral is really good. Just so you can learn to shape shots and learn how to control the spin instead of just hammering something overstable. So either one is good. I prefer understable to learn, but it's hard.
Yes.
Really hard.
Sean asked, and I'm not very good about it because I don't pay much attention. But maybe you guys know, what would you, if you had to write down how far I throw, what I top out at, what would that number be?
Top out?
Yeah.
Like your very, very max?
Like what you've seen when I've seen some good throws.
Probably the farthest I've seen you throw was on hole 11 at East when you cleared the water. That was the longest shot I've seen you throw for sure. To clear, plays probably 320.
Okay.
And so
there's your answer.
I'd say that was max, like full flex, full connection, distance.
Skipped off the ice.
No, that's not true.
And then Sean says, so I'm topping out at 370 on a flex line with a captain. What speed disc should I be throwing? Or is it about the right speed, just grind in form? Or is it about the right speed and just grind in form?
I think the captain's a really good disc for you, Sean. Yeah. If you're at about 370 on a flex, that's really good. I would focus in on those 9-10 speed discs because I think you're going to get really good results out of those without having to throw them as hard as you possibly can. I'm sure you already throw the Escape, but I love the Escape for people in that range as far as arm speed and spin goes, because it's just really versatile. You can get it to go super duper straight. You can get it to move right. You can put enough hyzer on it to get it to finish left. And then, just keep grinding out your form. I think there are distance plateaus for people, but I think pretty much anyone who has normal physical capabilities could throw 400 or over as they continue to hone their form.
Justin asks, best distance to practice putting?
Depends on what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
I like starting close and moving out. I won't practice much outside of about 30, 35 or 40 feet unless I'm practicing landing my disc flat on the ground.
Yeah. For me, it's that 15 to 35 foot. If you can make every 15 to 35 foot putt,
you're going to be competitive.
You're going to see progress for sure.
Yep.
Easily.
Those are the ones I drill the most for sure.
Very rarely do I practice anything outside 40, 45.
Yeah. But you make a lot of them.
Well,
I'm not saying that because like, hey, look, but those aren't the ones that you practice because they're not the most important.
Exactly.
You get them and that's cool.
And there's times to run them and times not to run them.
Yep.
Yep. What's going to be a little more overstable than an EMAC Truth, like for headwinds?
An EMAC Truth. Next question.
A Lucid X EMAC Truth?
A Lucid X would be great, but those are really hard to find.
Yeah.
I would recommend something just a touch more overstable as a Verdict. It has a very, very similar feel to it. And it does. It is just a touch more overstable, as much overstable finish at least. Or the Bard is another really great one that I used to throw. I used to really love that disc. For me,
it's more overstable than a Verdict for sure.
Yeah. For me, if I'm throwing something I need like a slightly more overstable EMAC, I honestly will throw a fairway driver.
Just club up.
Yeah, just club up a little bit.
TJ asks if I buy a disc online, how do I request a signature? In the order notes, TJ, you'll want to say, I would like to have Disc Golf Answerman sign it, or Bobby or Robert,
Eric,
or whoever. Just know that if it's one of us, depending on the time of the year,
it may be a little delay. Yeah,
more likely with Eric because he's traveling a lot with course design and stuff. It may delay your order. If you're cool with that, it'll sit on Eric's desks for a while until he gets back. If you're not cool with that, then
and you can say that in the notes too. You say if you need it within the week, just say, hey, if Eric's there, have him sign it. If not, no worries.
Yeah.
Or I can wait.
Yes. Perfect.
Let's see. Did I miss any, Robert, that you see in there?
Let's see. Angelo says, how is the UP Michigan course coming along?
It is coming along smashingly.
Swimmingly.
Right? Swimmingly, I suppose.
Oh, we didn't talk about, So speaking of new designs.
Yeah. Well, I'll touch base on that one just a touch here. But they're doing great. They have baskets in hand. I believe they've already started installing the ground sleeves. They're looking to late fall open.
Sweet.
Early fall, late fall, somewhere in that time frame. So
nice. Yeah. That sounds good.
And as far as other courses working on right now, I was in Great Bend, Kansas yesterday, which is about 2.5 hours straight west of us. And they have a course. It's a little outdated, so they wanted to kind of upgrade the baskets and the design. So I'm out there working with them on putting in a new layout for them. And then this Friday, I'm actually flying to upstate New York for a course that I am really stoked about. The pictures that I've been getting from the guys up there are phenomenal. Like it's what you dream to have.
Right.
You know, as far as a blank canvas would go. So I'm super excited about that. Looks like there's going to be some elevation, some huge tall pine trees, tunnel shots, a huge lake that we're going to incorporate. So I'm really excited about that. Pay attention, stay whatever you want to call it, to my Instagram or my Snapchat. I will be posting lots and lots of pictures and videos and going live and all that fun stuff.
Nice. Then we've got some people are asking about friction gloves here. Neither of you guys have ever used friction gloves, correct?
Not
the disc golf specific glove.
No,
I haven't either. I like the feel of being able to feel the disc in my hand, but I've heard good reviews, so you might check those out. And that's about it as far as questions go.
Yeah, cool. If you are a person that does stuff on Twitch, we do have a Dynamic Discs Twitch channel, but we haven't been real active trying to figure it all out. But if you are into just watching stuff, I have a Twitch channel, Cool Daddy Slick Breeze. And you can watch what I do in life. I'm into this IRL. You know what IRL is?
I've never heard of it.
In real life.
Yeah, of course I know what IRL means.
Oh, why didn't
I just said chat earlier? Like that's a
Oh, I forgot. I forgot what hip level you were on. You knew what IRL was.
No, people know what IRL is.
I wouldn't have known what it was.
I didn't know it at first until I learned. But there's some IRL channels on there where people like Geek Life. They have a thing where they'll go shopping at the Apple, and they literally have a camera mounted with a backpack so they can go live. Kind of like reminds me of the old Disc Golf Planet.
Yeah.
Where they had the backpacks and they would go live, hook it up to a camera. They have that set up. Of course, it's a smaller camera now, and they'll go shopping.
Why? Like, what are they shopping like?
Like the last time they went shopping, he wanted the new, or he had bought a new MacBook Pro, and 6 months later they came out with the new MacBook Pro, and
he was mad.
He wasn't mad, but
See, I don't the premise of the show just bores the heck out of me.
But
I don't want to watch this dude go shopping. Like, I don't.
There's an now that we're talking about chat and IRL.
No, I'm not done.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go on.
I follow these people because the other show they have is called Live Streaming Pros, where they teach about live streaming.
How to live stream and what
so
to live
I already have like a relationship with them in the sense that I've learned stuff from them. I've read some of their articles. I've been to a couple of their free webinars where I learned all this live stuff. And so when I found out that they are geeks and they love tech and stuff like that, and they go live, it wasn't just like I'm watching a random person. I knew a little bit about. So it's kind of it's just the same way, like when people see us on tour and they see us, they want to shake our hands and talk to us and stuff. It's kind of a similar thing. Sure, they're just out, but every now and then, what gets me is I'll watch it. And every now and then they'll give little nuggets of good information. Like a certain camera is like, oh, I should look into that camera, or finding out how they're doing the live stream, or all this stuff. So anyway, yeah, I mean, obviously,
no, I get it. I'm just kidding.
I know you are, but I honestly believe that the IRL thing, the whole thing where people watch other people's lives, is going to get bigger,
like the Truman Show.
Exactly. Very much like the Truman Show. I think that, I mean, we're kind of seeing it now with influencers and social media stars. People like to have these stars that do things that they don't do for whatever reason. I think even the mundane, simple things, people will be at home and they'll find out somebody's going shopping at a store. I'm like, oh, I'll kind of watch because I'd like to go to that store, and I can or won't, or for whatever reason. But now I can kind of live a little bit through them.
Yes. That's what I was going to say. Since we talked about chat and IRL and everything like that. So, Twitch is a live streaming service, right?
We got a little feud going on here?
No, they're talking about Fortnite.
Oh.
But yeah, I think there is something to that now that so much more stuff is live and people are more accessible, that you feel like it's exactly like you said. You feel like, I know that person. Right. So when they go and do something, you're like, oh, that's really cool. Like this happened to me randomly the other day. I asked, I was playing disc golf with a guy here in town who his dad works with my wife, and he's 15. I don't want to say his name just in case, whatever. But he was saying that he watched our disc golf adventure videos, and then I asked if he had met Zach Melton, and he said, yeah, I saw when he did the in the bag in the van a while back.
Yeah.
To me, like, meeting somebody is, I'm meeting you in person. Right. I shook your hand, but as it becomes more and more like IRL centric, stream centric, you feel so much more of a connection with people when you see them on videos and when you see them doing things. And so I think there's something to that, and it's only going to get bigger.
And what was interesting is I was watching Idlewild on the TV, and then I was doing some stuff on the computer. I was answering emails, and then that notification came up. They're going live. And at one point they said, so what's everybody up to? And of course there wasn't a lot of people watching. I said, I'm watching watching some disc golf. Well, the one guy plays disc golf. In fact, I'd sent them a Captain America because he's into Marvel. And he started asking about, what am I watching? I said, Idlewild Open. He was like, oh man, where's that at? And so we were having a conversation, sort of, kind of. We were in the chat.
Yeah.
Having a conversation. So.
I can't believe you haven't heard chat before.
Chat. All right. I think we're rambling enough. Not enough about disc golf and a little bit too much about other stuff. So anyway, all that to say, follow me on Twitch.
IRL Answer Man.
IRL. No. Cool Daddy Slick Breeze. Now, sometimes when I do my editing, I will.
I watched that the other day.
I'm looking at the other wrong camera. Sometimes when I do my editing, I'll go live on there just because life.
Funsies.
IRL.
I watched for a minute. I learned a lot.
You did?
I did not. But I did watch for a minute.
I need to edit the store tours we did in Europe. Maybe I'll go live with that.
Nice.
All right. Anything else?
I think that's it. So we're not here next week.
We are not going to be here next week. No. I'm going to be out of town. Eric will be out of town. Unless you just want to go solo.
I'm ready to go solo. I ain't scared.
You're scared.
Solo?
I'm a little scared, but
yeah.
What kind of solo?
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll have guest appearance again from the minions over there.
Minions.
Face. They were not pleased with that terminology.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We will talk to you on the next show, which is not next week. Yeah, which is not next week. Later.